This is another Movie Lingo discussion. I'm Eddie Lingo.
I'm Alyssa Jansen.
I'm Cody.
Oh, Snap Cupcake.
And today we're going to discuss Spy. Cody, could you please give us a summary on the movie?
Yeah, so basically, Spy, we have Melissa McCarthy, who works at an intelligence agency, and she is Jude Law's eye in the sky. She is his intelligence, his reconnaissance. She knows what's coming when he's in the field and everything that's happening to him. She offers him advice, where to go, what to do. And basically what happens is Jude Law is supposedly killed. And the agency is compromised, so the agency needs to send somebody in to get some information and find out what's going on, because there is a nuke that is being bought by a mysterious buyer, and they need to find out where it's going, and they need to intercept it. So Melissa McCarthy, being Jude Law's partner, she volunteers herself because as she's never been in the field, they wouldn't know her identity, so her identity isn't compromised. And she goes on an adventure with Rose Byrne, who plays a woman who has a ridiculous 80s hairdo. And along the way, there's a couple cool cameos. You got Marina Baccarin from Firefly, if any of you guys ever watched that.
Awesome.
Melissa McCarthy's husband makes an appearance, and it's just an all-out comedy and a very fun film to watch.
Awesome. Now, this is a Movie Lingo first. I have not seen the movie yet, but I will. But I'm interested in being on this panel to hear everybody's thoughts.
Spoilers alert.
The spoilers are going to be fine. In a comedy, I feel like
Yeah.
you can risk spoilers.
Yeah.
You know, the story is not too detailed. So for me, I just want to kind of pull from you what you guys liked. I'm already excited to see it. I'm going to watch it no matter what, but I still just want to pull from you guys what you liked about it and what worked and what didn't work, to kind of get me even more excited about it. I don't think you could discourage me from watching this movie, but so first let me start with you, Alyssa. What were your thoughts on the movie overall?
I thought it was hilarious. I loved it. I think Melissa McCarthy is one of the funniest women in Hollywood. I think that most of the movies she does, besides Tammy, which wasn't that good, but besides that one, she does such funny movies. And the people who made this movie were the same as Bridesmaids and The Heat,
Yes.
which two are the funniest movies
He
for
was
like
very funny.
Yeah, The Heat was good.
girl power humor. Like, love those movies. So I was really excited for this one, and it didn't disappoint at all.
All right. And how about you, Oh Snap Cupcake? How did you feel about the movie?
I loved it. I honestly thought it was great because the transitions between the scenes, there was always something funny. Like, always something to look forward to. Even if it was minor, it was hysterical. So it was consistent all the way through. You didn't have to wait for 20 minutes to get a real good laugh. It was all the way through, which was great.
Right. That's what's great about the comedy. How about you? How did you feel about it?
I felt really good about it. I will say, my one idea was that there's a turning point in this movie, and it changes the comedy and the style of the movie drastically. And when I explain it, you guys will know. For the first 25-35 minutes, it's a type of comedy in which Melissa McCarthy is very quiet and she's very shy, and people are ragging on her, and it's funny. And bad things are happening to her, and it's very funny. But there's a turning point in which Melissa McCarthy becomes one of the bad guys. She tries to get her way out of dying on a plane, and she becomes the woman's bodyguard. And in that moment, she flips into this
Different character.
rude, obnoxiously funny, and just vulgar humor person, where she's basically just like, I didn't know, why'd your dad dress you up like a slutty dolphin tamer? Like, it goes from very timid humor to very aggressive humor. And at first, when I was watching the movie, I was like, that's really weird. Like, the movie got really funny and really good all of a sudden. But I thought about it, and I was like, they transitioned that very well, because Melissa McCarthy can be that shy, timid, I have 6 cats and haha, laugh at me. And then she can be that, I'm going to cut off your dick and glue it to your face and you're going to be a limp dick unicorn type
So it was
person.
pretty balanced with the vulgar humor and the slapstick humor.
It took a great right turn into a different direction once she started that persona, and it did it really well, and it balanced the movie out very well. Awesome. This movie got really good reviews from other, like,
I did notice that.
It was like, I believe, a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. And when I heard about that, I got really excited. Because in my opinion, one of the funniest movies, and you can agree or disagree, is the first time I ever watched Hangover. The first one. The first one.
Yes.
I pissed my pants. Like, that movie was hysterical. And I use that as like it's a very funny movie. It had a great cast, and this, it was pretty up there. I really liked Spy.
There's a word that's in my head. It's been implanted in my head today. No, close though. Would you use the word fantastical?
Yeah, I thought that movie was absolutely fantastical.
Fantastical. All right, awesome. I got a question for the panel. One thing that I feel like comedies don't do enough, and if I write a comedy, I'm going to be the guy to bring it back. But whenever there is something that is very funny or a little unique joke, I find that whenever it really works, you should find a way to reference it again, bring it back, not overdo it, but bring it back a few times. Was there anything that was consistent that kept coming back, like a weird moment or a weird catchphrase, or was there anything like that in the movie?
I think there was two.
There
was a few, but I think two of the ones, and I'll just describe them, and someone else can go into detail because I talk too much.
No such thing.
First of all, even after I was about to say Jenny McCarthy, and that's a very different woman.
It's very different.
Even after Melissa McCarthy completed the mission and everything was fine, she was given another identity of a crazy fucking Catwoman who's a divorced single wife from Idaho, and then another one is Jason Statham in this movie played an over-the-top, pissed-off spy who was told he's not allowed to be in the field, and every time he comes into contact with Melissa McCarthy, he keeps telling her of all this badass shit that he's done,
right?
And it just goes so far out of proportion. At one time, he's like, I had my fucking arm ripped off, and I sewed it back on with this fucking arm. Those were the two main ones. If there's any other ones, like
any consistency?
Yeah, there was another one. Well, with the Jason Statham, there was a part where he was saying, I was driving my car off of a plane, landed on another car while I was on fire. While I was on fire, not the car.
Yeah.
It's like, who even makes this shit up? This is amazing. It was consistent the whole way through with that.
Right, right.
But yeah, he was definitely a big part of that.
Awesome.
Every moment he was on screen, just laughs.
He was pretty consistent with his
personality. Yes, extremely consistent, especially towards the end when he was thinking he was on an ocean and he was actually on a lake.
God.
And they're like, should we tell him he's on a lake? No.
He was taking a boat out.
It's the end of the movie, and Jason Statham's like, I'm going. I need a fucking vacation. And he gets on this boat and he takes off. And then Melissa McCarthy and I don't know her friend, the other one that was in it, because she's an awkward human as well in this movie.
Susan.
Right.
Her name is Susan. They look at each other and she goes, do you think we should tell him that it's a lake and not an ocean? And then the screen blacks, and before the credits, you just hear him go, is this a fucking lake?
Okay, so on that last point about the consistency with the humor, there actually was something that was consistent to you?
Yeah, there kept being a scene in the office where she would work with the other coworkers. There was rats that would get into the office, and it was like an ongoing thing, and they brought it back when she was checking in with Susan, because Susan became her eyes and ears for Melissa McCarthy. And they checked back in, and she was like, oh, is anything new? They're like, oh, well, the rats are gone. And then just randomly you would see like rats show up on like the computer screen or something like that.
Oh my God.
And then they do it again too, with after the rats are gone, a bunch of bats fall through the ceiling, and you just hear in the background, the rats have wings!
Oh man, I love this movie. As far as the
eyes can see.
The overall story. With a comedy, they don't really put much effort into it. You don't need to, as long as it's really funny. But how did you guys feel about the story itself? That's part one of the question. And part two, do you feel like it's something that they can start making sequels of and franchise?
I would say it's definitely a franchise, because the way the film ended, towards the end, there's a character. He's hilarious. He harasses her the whole film. He's actually trying
harass her how, like sexually?
Oh yeah. He does the when they're making a sharp turn in the car, to make sure she doesn't fall over, he grabs her breast.
To protect her.
He's like, I got you.
Oh, I think I might like this guy.
And he's like a real pervy, stereotypical Italian male.
Okay.
And it's amazing. And then towards the end, it turns out he actually has a British accent, right? And he's like, I apologize for how I acted. It was part of my cover. If you're ever in England, I would like to invite you to tea. And then he goes back to the fucking accent. He's like, yeah, or am I? It's so disturbing. It's so great. Oh, man. But definitely it leaves an opening for a franchise. It's for fun, though.
Just for fun.
Just for fun.
Not really for story, but just more for fun.
Not for story, just for fun.
What? Okay. Listen. What do you think? Do you think this is something that they can continue with the character? Is the story able to be continued, or just another mission? You think? What do you think?
Possibly. I actually, talking about it now, it kind of reminded me of, and I think I'm pretty sure it was a remake when they made Get Smart. Did you ever
yes,
see
that
the
was a
remake
remake.
with Steve Carell?
Yeah.
And who else? Anne Hathaway?
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that movie. It was almost like, because it was a comedy about like saving the world, which reminds me of like that movie, and like Pink Panther, which had a remake, which wasn't that good. So I don't know if making a remake of Spy would be good. It kind of makes me feel like,
Well, I was saying more like a
or not
sequel.
a remake, a sequel. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sequel.
Continuing on with just
Yeah,
more
yeah.
kooky, crazy adventures.
Yeah.
So you don't think
No.
Okay. I like it when we disagree. So you think that it's something they could do just for fun?
For fun. It's not needed, but
It's not.
Because it
you
could
can
be
do
like,
it.
the remake could be like Paul Blart was terrible.
Yeah,
Paul
was
Blart, the
bad in
first
general.
one was bad.
Which I was very surprised when they announced the second one. But I mean, if you go in thinking bad, you actually really enjoy it. So your thoughts, please, sir.
I am directly in between both of them. I have an incredibly specific opinion about this.
Okay.
I loved the movie. I thought it was fantastically hilarious. I think if they did do a sequel, they do one and that's it.
Okay.
If they did one and left it, it would be very good. But this isn't the type of thing I want to see them churning out. Like multiple sequels, multiple missions. Like honestly, I'll take a different route and compare it to 21 Jump Street.
Okay.
The reboot.
No, this is good.
The reboot. The first 21 Jump Street, I loved it.
Right.
I thought it was hilarious.
Right.
I thought it was very good. The second 21 Jump Street, I still thought was good.
Okay.
They did that interesting thing where they switched the positions where, Jonah Hill turned his back on Channing Tatum in the first one, and then Channing Tatum turned his back on Jonah Hill in the second one, and they basically flipped the plot, but they added new funny shit and whatever.
Right.
I think they did a really good job. And at the end of 21 Jump Street, we see the possible reboots of all those stupid different ones, like 23 Jump Street, 24 Jump Street, where they're chefs, where they're teachers, where
Right.
like that would work pretty well with this movie. I think if they did a sequel, it would be funny for them to do a sequel, and they could churn out another movie and make it good, if not maybe a little bit better. But I don't think they could continue it as a series.
And there's a
but
crying baby, but keep talking.
I think it could be funny if they did like an ending thing where they showed clips of other missions, like that type of thing.
Right.
I liked the movie very much. I like I've said in other reviews, this is the type of movie where I would go back and watch it again in theaters.
Okay.
I don't buy movies much anymore. I don't own them.
Right.
But I say it as like a point of reference. Like, this is a movie I would own.
Okay.
If I bought movies.
Alyssa, you look like you had a
If you
thought.
notice when you're talking about the different missions, if you notice in the credits,
Yeah.
like it was like in the background, but they would show like the different
The
identities that
baby's
they
still
gave
crying,
her.
but keep talking.
They gave her like different identities, and they put like what the name was and like what she would look like.
But
in
they-
different- but like they didn't show you what the
Yeah.
missions were. Obviously.
They just gave you mission names and identities.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
in
her.
the credits.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kano
So
specialist.
they have, so they have an idea. I haven't seen the movie yet.
Really?
But I did mention that, right? But I agree with you, even without seeing that. One more probably do some success. Because the problem with most movies like this is whatever made it work in the first one, that factor is gone
Yeah.
in the second one. So now you have to
You have to get a new
a
factor.
new factor, and sometimes they miss that point, and they just keep going with with the same humor and everything, but nothing new to wow people. So then they're like, people go in expecting to be wowed, like when they saw the first one, but they don't get anything new, and they were like, oh, it was fine, but the first one was better because it made me laugh more. I think Anchorman missed that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I Hangover 2, yeah.
Awful.
So I agree with you. One more, but I want that one more needs to be. They kind of need to reinvent it, even though they need to keep the core thing that made it work the same. Just my opinion.
I agree.
All right, so we're gonna hold there and see if we can avoid more crying baby.
Alrighty.
And joining the Movie Lingo panel is a screaming baby.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So.
My baby.
One thing I want to ask, and this question may be creepy to you guys, but I would really like you to commit and try answer.
I love
this
creepy
question.
questions.
Okay.
Great.
It's no secret if anybody knows me. I have a really strong attraction for heavier women. I get lost in the soft. Okay. I'm going to see this movie regardless because
So
of
are
that factor.
skinny women not soft?
No, some of them can be, and then some of them are just a little too sharp, too hard, too bony, But
I'm usually too hard.
I feel like we're gonna eat someone right now.
Ow, this
right?
hurts.
It's just like
I love all women, but I do have a very strong, very big place in my heart for the larger woman. So I want to ask you guys, and I'm going to start with you, Cupcake.
all right.
At any point in this movie, did McCarthy's
lady.
character become sexy?
I think so.
I know in humor it could take it out of, it could be done wrong, but I mean like actually where genuinely, where she had a moment where she was actually genuinely kind of.
I do believe so. I mean, because initially she started off as a real closed kind of person, and
Timid, yeah.
her confidence wasn't really all there. And as she was transforming, and she became more confident, super agent, badass, and it was sexy. She was doing all this crazy shit. It's like, how the fuck? You were just in an office, and now you're doing like backflips and shit. What the fuck?
Oh yeah,
dude, it's pretty
Things
awesome.
like that.
But
Awesome.
yeah, I think the transition they did with that, awesome. She really became like an amazing character and a sexy character. BBW.
So looking forward to that. So Alyssa, please commit to the question. Is there any moment where you feel like that she evolved sexually or became sexual?
Yes.
Yes.
I think Melissa McCarthy is gorgeous.
Yes.
And at the part when they went to the big, I don't know, was it like
A gala.
A gala, yeah. They went to a gala, and it was at that moment she decided that she wasn't gonna be her undercover person that she was supposed to be. She was gonna change and just show off herself. And she got her hair done. She was wearing this flowy thing with these pants. I don't know. It was super gorgeous, and she just looked beautiful.
Yeah.
And from then on, it was just it changed her look from that point on, and she was just gorgeous
And
throughout.
You saw her in a different light.
Yeah.
from then on?
Mm-hmm. It was perfect.
BBW.
How about you, Cody?
Yeah, I agree. And then to further that, there was a point in which she got a bob haircut. She went from long hair to wearing a wig, and she had a bob haircut, and she looked from someone who prefers longer hair. No discrimination. It's just I have my own preferences.
Right,
She still looked very good with the short pixie cut. Not pixie. That was
bangs.
Yeah, she had bangs, and then
It was dark.
yeah, it was dark hair, and it looked really good on her.
Yeah.
And then she did totally transform into a badass ninja. I can do backflips.
She had smoky eyeliner and lips, and it was gorgeous.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing that. So, for the record, though, just like Mr. Flutie said here, I don't discriminate. I love all women, but I just love to get lost in the sauce. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Oh, that's like do you have a tattoo of that somewhere?
I should.
You should.
I should, but you
Right
would probably
along
lost
your
in the
shaft.
sauce.
So that it just looks like a bunch of scrunched up stuff when you're soft, but when you get hard, it starts you read it as it extends.
Yeah, you know what? That's not a bad idea. I don't know if I could ever show the movie lingo crowd that, but that's something to consider.
Right.
And if we get our own website, we can. If we start posting the videos directly, not on YouTube, but to our own website, then we're allowed to show whatever we'd
we
like.
show whatever we want. We just have to make people type in their age, even though kids lie when they log in.
Yeah, I was 18 for years.
All right.
I used to calculate I
You do the math
I
in your
did.
head.
I put my real birthday in, but then I used to calculate how many years it would be so that I was 18 on the website.
Exactly, and they don't even stop you after if you hit the wrong thing, all you have to do is go back out, close the window, open it again, and
Oh yeah, there's just no
we're totally teaching. Well, they'll figure it out anyway. So
And it's fucking
there's
scary.
no age filter anymore.
no, yeah. Now you see everything. I mean, Instagram itself is porn, but whatever. So
Not
Don't
allowed.
go to 4chan.
I have seen butts on Instagram.
Okay, but
I have pictures of butts on Instagram.
I know
Are they your
it's
butts,
like
though?
it's like a thing right now that boobs aren't allowed on Instagram.
unless it's art,
And
but that's how they get.
you
they're
guys-
starting a
have you
thing
guys-
called Free the Nipple. Have you guys not seen that?
No, have you guys not heard of Tittygram?
No.
It's a company that was founded in Russia, and basically what they're doing is it's all there's no slavery. It's all volunteer work, but you pay this company, and they take pictures of women's breasts, and they put messages on it. Burger King advertised on it, and in Russia you can get a message written on them and post it on Instagram. They cover up the nipple, and it's just a message on a large-breasted woman's chest. And
What about a man's breast?
Like
man
mine?
boob. Like ours. What's up?
I don't know if anybody would pay to see these.
You don't know that.
I got a dollar.
find
My
out.
wife would,
We gotta
but
find
I
out.
don't think anybody else.
Wendy's,
Make sure your
Burger
daughter's
King.
not around for that.
Spy. Would you recommend it? And what is your rating? Alyssa, can you please start that off?
I give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Yes. And I would recommend it to anybody who likes comedies and Melissa McCarthy.
Comedies? Comedies nuts?
What? All right, and so you would recommend it, and you give it 8 out of 10.
And I'll watch it again.
You watched it again? Wow!
I
All
loved
right.
it.
So, how about you, Mr. Fleury?
Definitely gonna recommend it, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it. For a comedy. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
The only thing, and you know, a 9 out of 10 is a great score.
That's phenomenal.
The one thing that elevates a 9 to a 10 in my scale of a comedy is a period of time in which I am laughing so much I hurt.
Okay.
And for example, what?
Adam Scott.
In what the hell was it? Hot Tub Time Machine 2. That there's a scene. Have you seen it?
I did.
When Adam Scott did the drugs and his face as he was just like, and everything was going on.
Was going.
We were at a theater filled with people, and for some reason I found that so hilarious, and I laughed. That's why I would have given that movie such a high score if we reviewed it. It's at that one scene, but no, 9 out of 10. Definitely would watch it again, and I would tell many people to go see it.
All right. How about you?
Like you.
All right,
I'm gonna definitely
Go see it.
I'm bringing back the bear scale. This is a 9 out of 10 bears, which is good this time. It's not bad. So it's like 9 tap dancing bears, like in a fucking line.
Okay, so you give it.
Amazing film, recommended to anyone. Really, there's not many complaints. The spy genre in general, I don't enjoy those films.
Oh, God. So this was good for you. Then.
This was great for me because it's spoofing on all the spy films that you see, GoldenEye, Mission Impossible, which I think is great. I mean, it's a refresher. You see the same comedy lately in every movie, so this was a nice refresh because. Like, before you guys were mentioning, was it Get Smart? That came out how many years ago? That was a while.
The remake or the...
There was a first and then there was a reboot.
Yeah.
The
reboot was 2008, was it?
I mean, that's...
Of course you know who knows.
That's a decent time to wait in between the genres. So
thanks,
it was
David.
You know? But definitely, you got to see that movie, kiddos.
Well, I am definitely going to see it. 9 being positive, bears dancing, tap dancing.
Top hats.
And
a
top hats.
conga line.
And a conga line, tap dancing conga. That's
right.
That's
Man. It's fucking
interesting.
difficult.
Total score is an 8.5.
I can't
average.
rate. So
No, I know. Between the three of us, that's an 8.5 average.
that's a good average. So I hope everyone else takes.
I'm practicing my math skills on the show, everyone. So I'm gonna mentally do all of the scores and divide them by how many there are and give you a total score for Movie Lingo.
That's how it works. Yeah. All right. So you guys need to let us know what you thought of Spy. You can post your comments on our YouTube page /Movie Lingo, or on our Facebook page, Facebook /Movie Lingo, and also follow us on Twitter at Movie Lingo 1 or on Instagram at Movie Lingo. We'd love to hear from you guys. And is there anything else that we need to plug here?
Once again, filming in Davie, Florida at Past, Present, Future Comics. They're a great place. They've got posters, lightsabers, collectibles, comic books, trade paperbacks, Gundams, action figures, pretty much anything that you could use or find. They got the pop vinyl figures, and the store is fantastic. The people that work here are great. They let us film here, and they are wonderful people. Their store, unlike most comic book stores that I've found, Past, Present, Future is very organized. It is not hard to find the comic you're looking for. It's very like, I won't say out loud so I don't start trashing other places, but some stores in the area
Rhymes with Nate.
rhymes with Nate. Nate's is it's very hard to find what you're looking for, but this place is great. Come check them out. They're very kind. If you need help, they'll talk to you. It's an overall great place. I love filming in here because when we're not filming, I'm looking around at all the cool shit that's on the walls, and they're very awesome people, and it's a great place to work.
And there's also crime.
I don't work here. I just said it's a great place to work, and I do not work
That's
here.
how much he loves this place.
That's how much I love this place.
He's committed like he works here. That's how much he loves this place.
I came in for a paycheck last week, and they were like, Cody, what the fuck are you doing?
No? No, sorry. All right, guys, so thank you for joining us for another Movie Lingo discussion about Spy. I'm Eddie Lingo.
I'm Alyssa Jansen.
I'm Cody.
Oh, Stop Cupcake.
All right, and that was horrible. This is Movie Lingo Review. We'll see you next time.
Wakanda titties.
Yes!